Hello and welcome back to my Forsen run. This is the third run that I'm trying to complete. My character is currently in Act 2. It has survived for a lot of very strenuous activities here. It's currently level 24. And the idea is that I run through the game, or the campaign rather, without any resets, without any pausing the game. And so what that means is that I cannot, for instance, like in the middle of a fight, click escape and orient myself in boss abilities or something else. I just need to play the game all the time. Second thing is that I allow myself to go to the shop once every map, so I cannot go into town when I want to. I can go into town once every zone. Basically, normally I finish the zone, then I go to town, and then I re-enter. A couple of exceptions, so that when a boss, for instance, is there is the cemetery of the Forsaken in Act 1, for instance, and I complete the cemetery, and I complete both of the the tombs. And then I kill Lachlan, and then I allow myself to go into town after killing Lachlan. That doesn't include all of the mini-bosses, bar a few exceptions where it feels a little bit like a new zone. I allow myself to go into town. It's a very small thing. Anyway, so that's it. That's the idea. So in this video, I'm playing a witch, currently unascended. I actually think I need to go to do the ascension now, because it's a level 22 ascension, if I remember correctly. So I'm currently at that level where I should maybe have done that last level, but you know, it's a new thing to do this type of challenge for me, so I also need to kind of get accustomed to this. Oh, I forgot to mention, it's a hardcore solo self-found. Anywho, this is my third attempt. I already had 2 deaths doing this on situations that never killed me before. So, and also there's another small thing, is that I do not allow myself to use items or gold that I have from previous runs, meaning that I have a surplus of 4,000 gold from all of the stuff that I gained on the previous attempts. I throw that into other stash tabs. And I have an excess of 4,000 gold that it's very difficult to kind of get rid of the gold or get rid of stuff on solo self-found. Once you kind of want to reset, having to get rid of 4,000 gold is a very, very annoying thing to have to do before getting started. So I do have a 4,000 out of the 10,000 gold currently, which is relevant because purchasing items in this type of run is super duper important. Can really make a big difference. Yeah, I'm playing a witch. The plan is to go bone spells. However, I got this very nice staff, and that staff is simply carrying so hard for me that I don't know what to do without it, and that means that I'm just simply using other types of spells right now. Anyway, so I'm going to go to town. This is my town, my town visit. And probably I'm going to go and execute the ascension now. I think that's what's going to happen. Normally I plan to do the town attempts at the end of the stream, so the recordings, and then doing continuing the game immediately after, but this time that was not possible. I do want convalescence, but I think I'll have to kind of wait. Let's see. And I'm selling most of the items and not disenchanting them, because crafting in the early game is super duper shit. See, that's kind of interesting. Life and energy shield here, this as well. Set 36 energy shield. There's the fire resistance. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna put that in stash. 44. 8 life, fire resistance, lightning resistance. Nah. But item upgrading in this part of the game is super fickle. Sometimes you get something and it's just too good to not consider. Yeah, so one of the things that I find kind of interesting coming back to this for taking a break is the unique items that you're lucky enough to get in a run is just that they just define the run. So I got 2 of these rings, like 60 life, yeah, the cold resistance minus, but 2 rings with 1,000,000 fire resistance and a lot of life. In any encounter that's not a cold resistance encounter, these are very, very, very good, like very solid. Yeah. Is this better? This is mana regen? No, this is not better. Never mind. Alright. So I guess I'll go and do the Ascension real quick. Because that is a level 22. If I can find it. Trader's Passage. Did I already? No, I didn't do this, did I? I'm a witch, so no. No, not Trader's Passage. That's not it. What am I missing here? Trial of Sekhemas. Yeah. Placement is completely off because it's sort of self-found. The map is inverted and all kinds of things, so I can't orient for shit. Okay. Okay. Generally, when it comes to this this type of ascension trial, I find that the most important thing, and I think it's even more true in solo self-found, is that you need as many keys as possible. So basically, any type of any type of challenge. Oh Jesus, yeah, I felt that might have been the case. Any type of challenge that involves getting keys as a reward is preferable to anything else. I mean, this is not a problem. And I do want the XP, so I'm going to kill things. And a lot of the time, random keys can drop from the chest. I don't know if once you kind of complete a trial, if all of the chests just turn out empty. Probably everything is just empty after you complete the trial. Because the idea is that they want people to kind of risk their lives trying to get extra loot during the trial, which I could have easily done, but I wasn't sure that this was the case. But it looks very much like all of the chests are now empty. I am going to go and double check just for the science of it, just to know for future attempts if this is actually the case. It looks a little bit like all the chests are empty, yeah? Yeah, it looks very empty. Very, very empty. Oh, there's a little bit there. Okay, there we go. That's kind of, you know, that doesn't... that's not like saying a lot. So, you know, can I loot the chests after? Can I not loot the chests after? Looks a little bit like I can loot the chests after. Anyway. Maybe the value of the chests are just very, very low. I think the rarity and the value is just extremely low. I think that's probably it. Let's get out of here. Let's level up. We're going to throw that into, let's see, what are we doing? Damage. We did the recoup, that was pretty great. And then we're going to need more damage somewhere. Into a plan, or we're going for the critical hit. Yeah, let's go. I'm still not heading into I'm still not heading a lot into an energy shield. I'm trying to keep it very much armor focused. So upon choosing here, I'm going to go for the gold keys, and I don't care about the curses or the afflictions. It's not very dangerous. This is a very, very easy trial. The whole thing is very easy. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the bronze key here. As many keys as possible, because that's going to offer me a lot of loot, and I think in this challenge it's absolutely mandatory to do that. And even if it's slightly more dangerous, and when I say slightly more, I mean, you know, microscopic amount of more dangerous. I don't care which challenges I'm running. Like any challenge that you know is threatening the honor. See a little bit of honor damage. Who cares? I'm going to get that back. But I am going to be very thorough in this run when it comes to clearing out things. And trial complete, and then we'll go for the gold key. And monsters have 50% extra life. That would be problematic if the monsters were very, very dangerous. And in some of the later trials, that can be a problem. But at this point, if it's the difference between throwing 1 or 2 bone cages, for me, that's irrelevant. Trying to kill the boss mobs here, that can be a little bit annoying, and it has invulnerability, and that's of course not optimal. I think there's some kind of reward to actually killing them, but like, either you can or you can't. I wasn't able to. Sometimes they drop keys, but I don't find it to be consistent enough to say that killing these 2 elite mobs, both of them within the time, is absolutely necessary. But if you're able to, of course, that's great. But like, yeah, I'll manage. I'm not bothering picking up everything. Gold key, that That's important. Okay, let's see. Sacred Fountain. I think most of the gimmick with this particular trial is that you have an amount of honor, and that honor is kind of that's kind of the soft, I wouldn't say enrage, but like the soft limit to how much you can handle. The idea is that the honor is the limit to how much you can handle, basically. Alright, so we want to get to the chalice. We want to do the silver key up here, so we don't care about some penalties can be rough, like some penalties like, you know, you take extra damage, so that's kind of rough, right? But that's kind of the exception here. Trying to check if some of those chests are magic and then becomes non-magic if I complete the trial. I think I'm missing some. I need to go this way. Chests seem a lot more rare the first go around. So I have a sneaking suspicion that you want to loot the chests. If you have enough time, of course. Anyway, it's extremely easy. Like the worst of builds are going to do fine here. Of course, melee is slightly less good than ranged, because in melee you are in constant fear of getting hit and taking honor damage. And this is a semi melee build with the bone cage, but like it's kind of it's redundant. Okay, remove mana. Yes, it's no easy. Like no evasion. Like, yeah, no evasion. I don't have any evasion. I don't care. And it's a chalice. Challenge. I don't think the chests as much matters here. I don't think there are any rare chests that you need to grab. This is just like a couple of bosses that we need to kill. even with a bit of honor damage. Like I wouldn't at any stage be afraid of this one. I don't even think that the Chaos Trial is that dangerous. Of course, there are some very, very dangerous mechanics in the Chaos Trial that you want to desperately avoid. Yeah, so out of the 2 trials that I had available here, like the Escape Trial and the Hourglass Trial, this one is a lot better because this offers 2 rare monsters and the possibility to get extra keys, extra stuff. So I'm choosing this trial simply because of the value of the stuff that I have to do in the trial, whereas the Escape Trial is just, it's not valuable, it's just super annoying. Yeah, there are chests in that, that's true in the Escape Trial, but this is a lot better for me. We killed both of them, but no extra rewards, no added rewards. Let's see, do we have anything we can throw out? Like the gems, for instance, tier 6 gems at this point. It's just garbage, so goodbye. There's a fire resistance mob. I don't need to add more life to this. I'm just fighting him. So actually there is that thing where I can just go and use the chest real quick to deposit stuff, which I will. And then go back and loot. Yeah, I need to think just a tiny bit about my Ascendancy, but for this it's not completely irrelevant, right? Normally I would always choose the Rattlecage. I do have pretty good boots currently with movement speed and a little bit of extra stuff, so that kind of argues against the gold boots and for the Rattlecage. I think the chance to get a good jewel is going to trump the other one. Relics I don't care about right now. I want the Arcanist cache to get a couple of these bad boys, and then I have a copper cache, which, let's see, body armor, boots, warrior, small relic, probably relic, doesn't matter that much. There we go. Quickly want to see what value is critical strike bonus, minions, ailment threshold, yeah, okay. Projectile, flash charge, no. Energy shield, okay, that's potential. Thorns damage. Let's see what this gives us. Curse duration. Oh well. Not that amazing. Not that amazing. And 2 exalted orbs though. Yeah, we're going to keep those because I'm going to need them to craft something probably. Oh, let's see. Maximum honor. There we go. Yeah, at some point I might need for a 3rd trial. Okay, so there's the ascension here. So here's the considerations. So out of the three ascensions, for hardcore, Lich is by far the best candidate because it offers a lot of survivability. Infernalist seems to be very good for minions, which I'm not going to run because there are some skills that just increases minion power. A lot of stuff with allies and something with increased spirit, which also points towards minions. So I'm not going to do the Infernalist under any circumstances. I could do Infernalist and run the Infernal Hound just because that's pretty good. But I'm not speccing into minions, so all of that power is not really going to work for me. The Blood Mage is all about using life to deal more damage. It's about bleeding you inflict on cursed target is aggravated, so I am doing a lot of bleed with the bone spells, so that could be interesting. I'm very scared about spending life to gain damage on a hardcore character. It's like, okay, so I can gain 10% damage of physical. That's a lot of damage, but I'm spending all of my charges on my survivability, and it's not like I can't redo this per my rule set, so I have to make a decision. So going for the Sunder the Flesh could be pretty cool. Getting a base critical strike chance could be pretty cool, but it means going into the Sanguine Mancy. I can't get rid of the whole base. So let's see. The Bone Storm is currently 16.3 mana per second. So that's now 16.3 life per second as well. The Bone Cage is 24 mana per cast. That's 24 life per cast. And so the way that the build needs to compensate for that is through the life remnants, where they have a chance to spawn remnants. 25% chance. And they grant life. It could be fun to try out, but it kind of involves having a lot of life as in particular as a witch, where normally you want to go for a lot of energy shields. So probably all this ties into a greater idea of, you know, build synergy with items that take away your energy shield and turns it into something else and stuff. Or something. It already feels convoluted from the get-go here. And generally the bleeding magnitude is problematic on the witch, at least for me with my build setup, because my main damage spell, Bone Storm, has a lot of small hits. And so the bleeding is not going to be very good here, but the bleeding on the Bone Cage is going to be great. But that's not my boss killer spell anyway. So that's a problem. So probably spell damage leeches life, and then, you know, you can do 2 points here, and then you can go 2 points here, so you leech. Or I could just straight up go into life leech through spell damage. But then that's like a status quo that doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't increase my damage. It just makes it so that my spells now leech life, and that's good survivability wise. But it's to compensate for the fact that I'm, you know, it's I can see this happening on hardcore, and particularly with this challenge, I find it to be too ridiculous. The Lich, however, has, you know, it's kind of like overwhelmingly better in every regard. So a lot of the stats are just purely defensive. The normal baseline is that you want to go to Eternal Life to begin with, because if you go to Eternal Life, your life cannot change while you have Energy Shield. And so some of the damage that you take bypasses Energy Shield, but, you know, it cannot bypass Energy Shield because you cannot take damage. So that means it's a flat 10% damage reduction, which is maybe one of the strongest Ascension talents in the entire game for hardcore. And there are abilities where I can, if I can do something with power charges, I can kind of, you know, do that. I can pick extra energy shield, which right now is worthless to me, and then I can go to the crystalline phylactery and have a very strong jewel inserted, which I don't want to do, and it penalizes me if I don't have any energy shield, so that's not relevant in the long or the short term. I think Eldritch Empowerment is pretty great. Extra damage when sacrificing energy shield, but not relevant with the amount of energy shield that I'm currently wielding. And all of this is just weird. Extra curses, no. But this is interesting, but I think this is just too good to pass up on. So I'm going to ascend into the Lich and grab the life and the bypass. No inherent mana regeneration. Life per second. But that seems crazy. How does that work? Like unlimited mana? Am I missing something? 6% of maximum life. 500 life. 6% is 30 mana per second. 30 something. And the spell is 46 mana. 46 mana? The cost multiplier, I think that's the reason. It just doesn't show on the tooltip. Okay. I think we're good. Alright. So we head out and we head straight into the next zone. Going to head to town and quickly go and identify and all those things. Okay, so there's the flat upgrade. Sooner or later comes by, stops up, and there we go. And that's going to add life and energy shield to my character. No movement speed means no thanks. Gonna make a couple of lines down here and probably reroll these later. That's pretty good spell damage and mana regeneration rate. Doesn't quite match the current solution that I've got, but it's not bad. Getting rid of a little bit of the stuff here. need to upgrade the flask as well. Oh, that's going to be potentially expensive. Life recovery, recovered from mana. That, yeah. That's life recovered from mana, so that's not a problem actually for us, I think. What am I heading into? Let's quickly check what I'm heading into. I'm heading into the next area that I'm heading into is the buried shrines. So that's the fire damage. But I do have a lot of this is what always happens to me. Anyway. Greed takes over. Okay, so what does the fire resistance say? Well, I do have the ring, so in principle, like, that was kind of a dumb thing. Let's quickly see if I have something else I can put in. Cold resistance. Yes, the fire and the cold is, I don't care. It's going to work either way, and we are going to upgrade everything. Buried shrines. The only main problem is kind of the potential for the final boss without the lightning resistance. That's the major issue. But we'll have to see what we can do about that. Oh, we do have the lightning resistance rings, so we can equip those. Should be fine. Oh, Jesus. I think I'm gonna hold up a little bit on that and wait until I cleared everything else. Is that level 7 spirit gems? It's not half bad. I am going to grab, no wait, convalescence. I do, in order to utilize this, I need a chest with spirit. I never know when I'm going to get that, but I am going to take it already. That's one thing though, that with all this mana regen, I think I probably want to use another support gem for my bone cage at least, actually. The Zenith gem should probably be baseline in both of my spells, actually, because I do have full mana all the time, and that's a flat 30% damage increase, so... The added area of effect is nice, but the damage is more nice. Yeah, let's go and do this. Going to kill the non-abyssals first, because I don't want the advent of the next tier of monsters coming up already before I'm done with the first. I don't know if they already are, but it feels a little bit like... One thing I do like about a non-energy shield focused build, at least at this point in the game, is that I don't need to worry about when the energy shield runs out, because that's when it becomes very dangerous. When I only have my hit points, it's dangerous all the time, and I'm super focused on not losing all of them. Okay, I do need to go and check for this, even if it feels a little bit redundant. I do want all of the XP. And we need to choose. We choose a topaz ring because we do want a good lightning resistance ring. Actually, if you play as a blood mage and you lose hit points, it feels a little bit mandatory to get some kind of life steal. And the skill points go straight into damage. And this is another example of the only one town visit per area, but when there's a big boss fight like this with a whole zone dedicated to the boss fight, I allow for a second town visit, because it's so much loot that I'm missing out on otherwise. So I get to go to town now and put stuff in the stash and go and fight the boss and do the same thing and then proceed. Something interesting happened. The lesser jeweler's orb is going to go into bone cage, adding something. Let's see. Considered casting would be nice, but I think the what was in there? What was the word? Zenith. Zenith is better. And I don't know how many levels this is going to work for, but right now it's going to work very well. Right, let's go. Since it's a fire only boss, I can add my second fire resistance ring. Or can I? I cannot. But I don't need that much fire resistance. That's actually smart. I can basically use my my dodge as a release mechanic for the Bone Storm. So I can charge up and then dodge, and then the hit is going to head in. That's pretty good to know. The witch is opposed to burning women alive. That's cute. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Oh, the armor is so strong in connection with everything else that I'm doing, and I don't think I can actually part with it at this point. Alright, next zone. And now I need to consider the other resistance types. So am I going to get more lightning resistance? Do I have more lightning resistance? I do. So I'll bring those 2 items. I think we're going to head into the Mastodon. This is a very scary zone, actually. The bosses of this, the monsters in the zone is scary, and the boss is scary. So everything's scary. Don't know if there's a lot of fire damage here, is there? Fire resistance, lightning resistance. Yeah, not going to work. Not going to work. We'll have to go with this. I don't have any specific plan. I just need to clear everything, and so I'm just going around the edges out of pure habit. I don't like to be cutting too much into the main map. I like to go and kind of go around the edges and then head into the, also to kind of have an idea about how much am I actually fighting at a time. If I head into the middle of everything, I find that I'm getting too many enemies or too much stuff. Already, look at this. We have an abyssal. And actually there's that thing that at level 22 actually there's also this zone with the Lightless Passage. So that's also something that I kind of chronologically or hierarchically should have done earlier, but it's too difficult to remember everything. Another thing about Energy Shield, even though it kind of has to be like the long-term plan for anything in this game, is that the whole mechanic, the seasonal mechanic with all of the chaos damage, is just super duper nasty. Super duper nasty with Energy Shield because of the double damage that you take from the chaos damage. I think I just need to connect some checkpoints and then head back and clear out the rest, because it's already getting too messy for me. Here are the bone pits, and I can go and collect the waypoints. Ooh, what was that? There's so much damage in this zone. I need to be I need to be careful here, because it's actually kind of deadly to just farm around. Yeah, let's clear out this last bit down here and then head up. Okay, let's check. Yeah. Okay, so up here, and then, because I don't know where the Lightless Passage is, I'm looking for the other zone entrance, which is somewhere around here. Is that the one up here? Let me go and check. Or is this the... Oh no, this was the quest. Okay. Checking the last bit of stuff at the edge, which is, this is why I like to go around the edges, because then I know where everything is and I can kind of clear out nice and easy, as opposed to not doing it, because then it becomes a mess afterwards. world is that entrance? Down here? Okay, here we go. Because now I can go and do this zone. And so I head up to town to just empty my inventory, do the Lightless Passage. I actually don't quite know how to deal with the Lightless Passage in this context. Oh, that was the wrong entrance. Sorry. Because on the one hand, I want to be able to go and craft. But on the other hand, it's a little bit hard that, you know, how am I going to deal with... I mean, the whole mechanic is kind of, in a sense, a little bit irrelevant. Because I can't really go and craft whenever I want to. So I have to do a crafting session with whatever reagents I have, and then that's it. Or maybe I'll have to allow myself to go every time that I'm outside of an area and go and do that. Maybe that's a way to do it. Maybe that's the best way to do it. And I need to remind myself to go and check the vendors for stuff. It's interesting that when you know these tile sets, it's basically like autopilot. I know that the entrance to the well of souls is always to the farthest left, so I can basically just beeline that spot, and everything else is just pure XP. But now, since I'm clearing, I need to actually go and clear, and for that reason I'm going back. But otherwise I would just have beelined left and north. And luckily we can sprint, so that's great. Having a big amount of life leech, I think, could actually be pretty great. I mean, taking damage like deliberately is kind of a soft core thing though, so that's the problem. If you're playing soft core and you have a build where you deliberately take damage but you also deal extra damage, that's great. On hardcore it feels dangerous though. don't know if these monsters give me any experience at all. Do they? Zero visible change to my XP bar. Yeah, after a boss there's a bit of movement. Just going to finish this zone, I think. Funny thing is that the Lightless Passage, I mean, they added this kind of in between zone from the real goal, which was to get to the Well of Souls to do the seasonal mechanic. But they added, they still added this. I am good because I'm curious. I want to explore the last bit there anyway. They added this whole kind of, you need to run through this passage and kill all these monsters in order to get to get your cookie, basically. And well, it's you do it once. The fights are kind of uninteresting. There's the small big area with the boss there. That kind of, it gives you an introduction to what an abyssal boss can, what it can be like, what it can in principle what it can do, and so that's kind of interesting, I guess. But that's all there is to it. It's not. It's just a zone with very not scary abyssal monsters all over the place. That's kind of like, you're not scared of them. They're there. You kill them and you move on. So it's a very weird thing where you've been interacting with the abyssal mechanic for a better part of the game at this point, and honestly, the abyssal rifts are much more scary than the Lightless Passage. So I'm kind of curious what their thought process about the whole Lightless Passage was. They just wanted something to be there in between the Well of Souls and the Mastodon Badlands, basically. Kind of. That's what I'm gathering from it. But it's a little bit weird to me. I wish that you would get like a free. I wish that you would get like a free go. Just like one free taste. That would be pretty good. I don't have any. I do have a Nord bone here. That's a rare weapon. I wonder if. Oh, that's a weapon. But trying to change my staff here would be suicide. So no, thanks. Zenith. Oh, we can also add that here. Do we want? We don't want to add the no bone to the to the voltaic staff here. That would be disastrous. So no, let's not do that. Act 2, and so I'm emptied out. We're going to head into the bone pits. This I have a great. I mean, I'm dreading this, to be honest. The bosses in there, the Mastodon, the Mammoth, and the Caster there. To me, they killed me. Super scary to me. I do have that one advantage that I'm not going to run out of mana. That's a huge win, because that does mean that I am going to be able to play it safe and waste a lot of mana on them. need to be careful. And I can't tell what's killing me. All I can say is that these zones are not counting the abyssals. That's super scary. I do like the influx of orbs at this point, because I do need probably to do some Hail Mary slamming at some point to be able to go through Act 2. I mean, right now I'm kind of by the graces. I mean, I've almost died a couple of times, and I am going to at least almost die a couple of times, if not die at some point during this. From pure experience, I mean, this is scary. Again, this is why I want to, you know, do the corners, because if I do the corners, the amount of stragglers is going to be much more limited. It's a lot easier to control the clearing process. Get the point. Extra critical chance. And then we want the critical damage probably. There is a huge advantage to having the armor at this point, actually. It's not going to protect me from the slamming from the mammoth, but it is going to protect me from a lot of other things. This is a giant flask though. Okay, so 2 bosses. Jesus, this is dangerous. There's a heavy stun. Okay. Need to be careful with those. Right. Huge area to clear, but like I have to do it because if I miss out on XP potential drops and I end up dying, a lot is going to point towards poor preparation. So there's over preparation and there's just good preparation. And for this type of challenge, I still need to be convinced that I'm not going to trigger the spirit. If the spirit is going to head into the boss zone and I'm fighting like a boss extra juiced up, no thank you. I could go to extra chaos damage, that's scary, but I could go and trigger it for that. Whatever, I'm going to do that. This feels dumb, so like how do I deal with this? I pull this guy all the way around. Is that even possible? Dead end. Oh, it's possible. I can pull it around. Come on, big fella. Okay, so why is the spirit moving? Like, oh, it found somebody. Okay, that was weird. Why did it move without me being there? So I don't know what's going on down here right now. Didn't I just kill the haunted boss? Okay. Aberration. That's a great essence. I don't need it though, but it's still great. Always get the checkpoints. These guys keep spawning. Is there like a special thing here with? Or maybe I just spawned so many that they were just not done kind of spawning once I exited. What? Here we go. Let's just finish up, because I think there's one more level to be had, to be honest, before the fight. Maybe, or maybe not. Starting to look a little bit gloomy on my 27 lich here. I am going to be taking the fight that I'm kind of honestly dreading, and that's primarily because of bad experiences with it in the past, but like, you never know. So, alright. So it doesn't deal any fire damage, so I don't need that. It deals lightning damage, so I do need that. Fire damage, lightning. No extra life, so that sucks. I cannot remove this one because I have dependencies. I mean, I could. Let's see, the dependency is the intelligence dependency. Is that the thing? It is the intelligence dependency. Okay. Do I need that one? Maybe I can kind of avoid using the bone cage, because that would, let's quickly say, I don't have any ways of, I can upgrade this bad boy here. Oh, I mean, this one just goes in the place of this one. What was I thinking? So adding the Exalted Orb to this could add life. Potentially adds worthless stuff. Extra defensive layers at this point going to be added. Go. Sockets, no. I think that's pretty much it. Gonna head in and see what happens. Not a fan of this fight. Not in the slightest amount. Wait. There's a bit more lightning resistance that I can add. Adding this is going to take away a lot of life, but I could add lightning resistance from this one right here. Let's see how much energy shield I'm going to lose. 7 energy shield for like a lot of lightning resistance. Seems like the easy choice here. Yeah. So lightning resistance and armor is going to be okay. Let's go and see what happens. Strategy is to try and kill them at the same time. So instead of pounding on the mammoth, I'm attacking the caster. And he's almost dead. Because it's going so well, I'm going to try to kill them roughly at the same time. Where's the... Oh, that went a lot more well, a lot better than I had feared. Okay, so we have to choose from the loot. I'm going to throw out what I don't want, don't need, and there's that one bit where one of these item is a very, very big. Alright, I think that was... Let's get back up. That went well. Yeah, so having the right resistances and the right resistance or the right damage mitigation to the specific stuff that you're fighting is super duper important. So if you're fighting physical stuff, having physical resistance, it does help some kind of avoidance that's going to help you. That is going to be super duper valuable. Want to keep these. Let's just add some stuff to this. What did I get? Did I get like rarity or something? Let's beef some of these items up. You never know what you're going to get. Energy shield, spell damage, and light resistance. I think it's still better than this one. It is. I don't know about the mana regeneration. That's going to be the breaking point here. I don't know what the worst thing here is. I honestly do not know. I mean, the thing is though that the fire resistance, the 50 fire resistance towards the minimum minus of 15 is ridiculous. It's basically like a free stat. It's very good at this point. So I think it's still going to be better no matter what I do. Such a good item. Such a good item. We don't want this. What do we want? Magnified Zenith. Zenith. Yeah, 30%. Alright, I want to head into the next. So with this, I need to check for gear. I'm not in the market for a new staff. Like I've already mentioned a couple of times, it's my opinion that upgrading weapons as a caster is near impossible outside of very, very specific targeted crafts. It's going to be very difficult. 28 life, 11 cast speed. Yeah, could have been interesting. Currently, it's not going to be because it's too expensive, and I cannot survive without my current rings, I'm afraid. All right, life. So strength. Strength and life. Boom, that's it. Strength and life. Armor. Life, lightning. Two charm slots. More life. Lightning resistance. No strength. Nine ES, 31 life, 10 intelligence. Currently no, but I also beefed up my gloves. There we go, look at this. 37 spirit. Now we're getting somewhere. The question is, it's going to remove all of my armor. Going to add convalescence, but it needs a complete rework of the whole defensive layer. I could purchase this just to have an item on retainer, and then once I get into a situation where I can craft, that's what we can do. This one needs to be in my inventory though. And how much strength do I need for this? 21 strength. So that's like 9 points of strength. that's coming from that ring though. So what I could do is this. And then I get the added armor. Added life. No, I lose a bit of life. How's that? Oh, it has less strength. But I add the lightning resistance. So it kind of all balances each other out a little bit. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. Oh, suckables. No. Let's head out. All right. So the next zone is going to be so I'm going to go and fight the Colossus. It's not a fight that I'm majorly happy about, but it's also not a fight that I find to be the most scary. You just need resistances basically. Bit of physical, but you need lightning, you need fire resistance. Fire resistance I think also very important. Lightning. And then you want damage, you want reasonable damage. I'm going to try and do the same strategy here. Cut the edges around the corners, move around the corners and deal with it that way. Some of these mobs can deal a lot of damage. And also all of the waypoints, or the checkpoints rather, in this zone are placed at the edges of the map. So what's going on? The spirit is now starting to move a little bit. Looks a bit like it found a host. A lot of monsters here. And so in solo self-found, at least in this type of playthrough, getting all of those extra spirits is pretty important. You want to avoid having a spirit go into, for instance, the monkey. That's a bad example, because the monkey is kind of, at least if you keep your cool, the mechanics are very dodgeable. But outside of that, you want to avoid having it go into a boss that is already semi-dangerous. Because if a boss is already semi-dangerous, you end up in a situation where the boss can be quite dangerous. with extra stuff going on, well. But you want the loot from the the hunt mechanic, for sure. It can. I'm not quite sure at what level it starts dropping, but it drops like these very specific talismans, which can be very good for your build. Want those checkpoints for this zone, for sure. Alright, let's see. So now, where are we? Yeah, we need to go down here. We need to isolate the waypoint, and we need to find the other altars. And there's all going to be one waypoint down here, I think. The pinning mechanism for this is great. I mean, the stuff is just standing still. I need to actually loot the voltaic or the staves, because you never know when the basic stuff that I want on there is going to spawn. Let's say I get a blue base with +2 skill levels, and it's a high level of let's say of lightning bolt, for instance. That's already interesting, kinda. So there's that. There we go, the waypoint and the medallion insertion. Thank you. And I go with extra charm duration. And that's because, let's say that you're fighting Viper, for instance. You want poison, anti-poison resistance. Oh, I do have extra slots now. And you want anti-poison resistance, or you want you want poison resistance in your charm slots. You want those charges to last longer, because that's how you improve the heart value of those charms, and it's a pretty big deal, actually, at that point. See, I'm still missing one. Yeah, that's the one that's all the way up here. What am I missing? Is this a boss? No? Oh, the boss is here. Okay, hello, hologram. Ashen Staff. Also interesting. Still, we're looking at it. Right, look at this. 76% increased spell damage. I know it doesn't compare to the gain currently, right? But still, critical hit chance, great. And cast speed, pretty great. So, already, that's... You know, I could add, like, Jawbone on top of that and see if I couldn't. Depending on, let's see, spell damage, that's a prefix. So that's 2 prefixes, and that's the cast speed is a prefix? I'm not sure. I have to go and check up on the potential upgrades there. See, now my mana is dropping, and I'm not quite sure if that's because I lost the amulet. I dropped the mana regen amulet. Maybe that's the reason for this actually. So that's a problem for my Zenith support. Then I need to get rid of this. Okay, this is scary. See you. Take staff. Not complaining about the staves. I'm complaining about those added chances of stuff. One moment. Short break. That was a prank call or something. Let's see. So having this actually, does that increase my... I want to check how much it actually does matter. Look at this, it really matters. It really matters. I can't let go of that amulet right now. That's just not going to happen. Alright. Let's buff this up. Yeah, okay. So a lot of the times, the upgraded belts are just not worth it. But you know, getting a bit of resistance on the belt would help me a great deal. Alrighty, now we're talking. Now we are talking. There's a huge gain. There's a lot of spell power. There's critical strike damage, and you know you can add that, and you'll see what happens. I mean, still. There's the chance that the spell level it's not going to be good enough, but we'll definitely see. We could quickly check actually. If I equip this, we can add this to just check the damage on the spells here. I think it's a net damage loss. Or it doesn't work because I need the intelligence on the weapon too. Do we have intelligence anywhere else? No, it's not possible to check right now then. Not at the moment. We'll check it later. But I am curious to see if that's going to make a difference, because if it is, I would be very surprised. My theory is that generally spell ranks for the caster is going to be better than spell damage any day of the week. It's my theory that you need, I don't know, extreme amounts of other kind of damage stats to make up for the fact that you don't have spell levels. I have to be honest, I don't even see it happening that spell damage is going to have any chance at all, snowball's chance in hell against the spell power, against spell levels. Spell levels is going to rain It's going to rain Superior any day of the week. Is my gut take. But I want to see it. I mean, I want to see it. It doesn't have, does it have cast? It doesn't have any cast. This one has cast speed. This one has gain. Same amount of critical chance. So that's going to kind of even itself out. This one has 5 stats. This one has 4 stats. It looks like... I need to see it though. I need to see it before I'm going to believe it. Still making those sockets, you know, you never know. You always want to have Artificer's Orbs available. I'm not complaining about the energy shield, but I'm just not speccing into it right now. Alright. Do I need anything else before I fight the boss? Maybe I want the rapid cast instead of the Zenith, depending on what I end up feeling. Maybe it's the upgrade of the bone. The Bone Storm it's on level 8, so it's still not. Doesn't have the level 7 gem yet. Did I sell those? So I'm just confused right now. I don't know what I did with those level 7 gems and why I haven't actually gotten those. Critical hit chance. Doesn't add enough. Still looking for upgrades all the time, looking for upgrades. As far as chests go, the only thing that's going to upgrade is the spirit chest currently. And that's going to be an upgrade, but that needs a lot of changing stuff around. Let's go and see what happens. Do we have everything that we need? Is there any... do I want... This is from like old runs, so I'm not touching that. Yeah, see, I have the sorcery one. That's going to be added to any staff that has spell levels on it. And these are kind of cool, actually. So look at this, look at this. So if I go into my essences here and I add this one, I take this out and I look at this one and I add extra energy shield to this percentage wise. It's already going to give me a bunch of stuff there, right there. I do unfortunately need to check a few of these items. I think I'm going to do the whole sell maneuver right now, because this is a kind of one of the pinnacle bosses of the early game. So I mean, it's not that you need to be prepared in the most extreme manner, but if you are underprepared, that's bad. That was a pretty good bow actually, right there. Maximum life strength dex 22. Critical strike bonus, same. Life with attacks, enemy killed, life, raw life, strength dex 21 life. It's goddamn close. I mean, with an Exalted Orb slammed into that one, it's going to be better. I don't think it's going to happen before the boss fight, though. Chaos damage, spell damage, look at that, right? Spell levels on top of that, that would have been insane. But I cannot use it for Jack because I'm not using chaos damage currently. Yeah. I'm interested in the weapons here, but not in the other things. Let's check the status here. Yeah, so I'm putting this here even if I'm not going to slam it, but I do want 72. Let's check, is that? That's pretty good as well. But see, right now I just need to go straight into, because I'm pretty certain that this is not going to work. So if I add this one to this, no, it already has this. Yeah. So it has the big one, and then it has like a worthless suffix. We'll just put that in here just for the fun of it, and the rest goes out. Let me check. Yeah, I need to do this because like I'm heading into a difficult fight, and I need to make sure that I kind of looked at all of my various things. If I'm like missing a key item because I just didn't bother to identify, that would be a problem to me. Let's see. I definitely didn't want to find out about that later on, but I actually didn't put on like a very valuable item. Yeah, we're going to see if we can get some stuff out of that. 165, that's better. Charges per use, so it is going to be better no matter what. So we're going to add it. Say goodbye to you. Then that's immunity to bleeding. We already have something going on here with bleeding. Oh, that was the other way around. Physical damage from bleeding. Immunity to bleeding. I already have this. Strength. It's a quick ID. It's not that expensive. Goodbye. Fire resistance. Oh, we don't need that because of the other rings. It's just a fact of life. It's just you have a gazillion fire resistance packed into one item. I don't need any other items to kind of carry that. Cold resistance? No, don't need, but not throwing out. Not throwing out. Yeah, that's it. Currency, there we go. Okay, moving on. Mana. Bone pits. What? Alright. Good luck, have fun. This is going to be, if I can deal with this fight, I'm fairly optimistic. I mean, now obviously I can kill my character in Act 3, I can kill my character so many places. But if I can deal with this fight, there are so much free content ahead of me in the following zones. That adds a lot of power, and yeah, a lot of farming content before the next difficult boss following Collosus. Probably, I don't even know what that is. Maybe that is Jaman Ra, actually. Obviously, every boss can kill you, but I think Jaman Ra is a real potential because of the length of the fight. At least Jaman Ra is worrying me a little bit. I don't even know if the whole pausing the game, like hitting escape, how that's really like a parameter for difficulty. It's just annoying. It's just like, you know, I'm not afraid right now, but I need to maybe go and take a toilet break, and I can't do that. because I set up that kind of very silly rule for myself. So that's kind of weird. I mean, even like adding points, skill points, this is effectively pausing the game. I mean, so when am I supposed to do the skill points? After a zone? I mean, that would be like an added. That would make sense in like understanding the rule set. Like, what does it mean pausing? It means I do the zone almost like a speed run when I'm currently at it, and then, you know, during the break I can then go and take it easy and take toilet breaks and do whatever. Maybe that's the idea. But then that's getting into that confusing middle ground. Like, is this a speed run? Is this a difficulty run? And, you know, when are those two kind of, you know, I mean, I'm playing in a relatively quick fashion because that's how I like to play. I'm not, when I'm grinding mobs, killing mobs, I'm actually being pretty aggressive about it. See, this is where the whole thing about energy shield kind of gets interesting. So I need a mini break. 1 sec. Because now I get to make a choice. So normally I would say that having energy shield is super duper important, and you need to stack it as quickly as possible. And if you have the right gear, like, there is no doubt it. It's just better. I've been avoiding it so far because of some very good armor focused items, and I've been doing a bit of other kind of survivability things, which has been working out for me, I think, in a pretty great fashion. Although at this point I'm getting to some very, very interesting notes. So this is why I'm suddenly, you know, taking a small break to contemplate here. I could go up and do recoup. Physical damage recouped as life. I think I am actually going to do that. Adding intelligence, so we can do the thing with the staff if we survive this fight. I'm going to go for the recoup. It's not going to add anything. I probably should have gone extra energy shield right now for the short-term gain, because I'm fighting a boss in a moment. That was very dumb of me. I really hope that's not going to kill me. But outside of that, I mean, I could respec. I mean, another way of actually adding difficulty to this game would be not allowing respecs. That's probably going to be in my next round of personal rules. To be fair, no respecking, and that's going to add a bunch of difficulty to the game for sure. I think I'm going to like that. If I'm considering doing a guide to instruct me on my build, that's going to be difficult because all guides depend on respecking. So all guides depend on you being able to kind of redo your passive board. I'm not a fan of these guys. Additional projectiles. Ooh. It's like the Titan Grotto is like, it's about figuring out where is the boss, and then trying to avoid going to the boss until you've kind of looked at everything else. Was that actually with those? Those were actually also lol. I mean, Jesus. They were also part of the. They were also abyssally. Okay, so increased charges and recovery rate. Recovery rate. Reduce charges and use. Okay. Just adding those modifiers or those orbs just to see if we get the spell levels. If we do, probably you want to go with a main hand and an offhand at some point, no matter what your spec is, simply because of the collective value of having that focus, as well as a good wand is going to be a lot better than a staff at all times. But honestly, for me, the value of having the value of the staff, it's much easier to get a good base staff that's going to carry you, as opposed to having getting a good main hand and offhand. It's going to be a lot more tricky. It's two items that needs to be rolled correctly. The problem is the keyword here, rolled correctly, and what I mean by that is it needs skill levels. And if your item doesn't have, I mean, an offhand with a lot of spell power and resistances can probably contend with the fact of having a staff in terms of raw skill levels, because of the defensive value of the offhand. But it really needs to be like, it needs to be very good to kind of contend with skill levels. Skill levels so OP to be fair. It's just OP. Yeah, we take the checkpoint and then we head back. I am finishing the dungeon before going into the boss fight. Just because. I think we're almost there. Let's see. I actually don't feel like, yeah, obviously, if this was a League starter character and it was my life goal that this character could not die under any circumstances, and I was trying to build wealth and I didn't care about, not having a meta build, and I just wanted to play this character, and that was all there was to it. Probably I would farm this zone out more. Or something else. I would farm out the buried shrines, which is very the densities is very good, and so going into the buried shrines and just farming out. I'm level 29, just farming out a few more levels. Maybe I would do that, and farming out items or something. The reality is that it's very difficult to kind of make sure that you don't die in some of those key cornerstone fights. It is going to be very nasty. So let's see, lightning resistance is not good enough. I don't need the cold resistance. I do have this one that doesn't have any strength, so this is where I need this actually. So I'm going to lose the lightning resistance to get the cold resistance to get everything to work. It is what it is. It sucks donkey balls. Good luck, have fun. Oof. I need to be very careful about the sword stuff here. Oh, that wasn't intentional. That was not intentional. That could have gone off much more cleanly, but aiming with the bow, the bonus dome, is no joke. All right, let's get out of here. The great thing about this game is that once the show is on and you have to kill a boss, the show is just on. It's not like, ooh, I need to contemplate a few things. You don't have the time for that. You just need to go. And I like that fact that this is an intense game in that way. This is of course a different type of game than, say, some of the stuff that I normally like to play. I like the fact that it's a little bit intense. I think that has a different kind of quality to it. And the boss fighting in this game is by far the best boss fighting that I've had in any type of action game. It even surpasses, in my opinion, actually, World of Warcraft, for instance, or other type of... but those are primarily group games, so there's the difference there, that this is a single-player game. Traditions toll. Alright, so let's see. I don't know how much more time I have for this session. I don't want to be dealing with this stuff right now. Question is, do I want to go back to having... This is a pretty weak... this is a better, I think a better petition of value here. All right. So what I'm saying is that now, now I'm going to Deshar. Deshar has a lot of value, a lot of XP. It's like, I think it's 3 different zones. From what I've seen, one of the main differences between speedrunning and, like, for instance, what I'm doing, whereas with the speedrunners, it's something like they don't ascend, and there are loads of things that they don't do. So ascending is, well, it is what it is. It provides a lot of value, actually. But being able to take on challenges without being prepared enough is it's a luxury that I feel is very difficult to reach on hardcore. Like, I don't know what kind of parameter I would set up for a speedrun on hardcore. I mean, you want to go fast, and that's fine. But, like, particularly in the early game with no resources, nothing in the bank, no gold, no gems, no crutch, nothing at all, and it becomes like purely what the kind of stuff that I've been struggling with on this run. The early game is super duper dangerous. Like, I don't even know. I mean, a speed run also involves not killing all bosses. Maybe you are going to bypass some things. Maybe you're going to go back. You can do things in like a reversed manner. But if you have to kill everything, and you have to kill all bosses, and you have to speed run through the whole thing, I mean, that becomes a game of really like calculating your resources. Like, for instance, how do I manage to get the resistance I need for the specific bosses? Like, how do I manage to do different things? I need to focus here. I already faced a couple of those. Oh, there we go. That was very close. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is I've been throughout this this season. One of my main kind of one of my main problems with the seasonal mechanic is that it feels too punishing. Like I was in a bad spot for 1 second, and it's like I almost die, and it's not even necessarily like a bad combination of boss mechanics. It's just the baseline mechanic of the stuff that explodes. So if they take away the seasonal mechanic, obviously the seasonal mechanic has some merits to it. It increases loot, it increases XP. So if you remove that mechanic, you need to add something else that adds XP, or that's going to be punishing. But the fact that stuff almost insta killed me, that's what it felt like. It's just, yeah, too much. I could have easily died. I should have died there. And I need to be more focused when it comes to Bizzle. And I need item upgrades, and I need an energy shield conversion. That's actually kind of, it takes away a bit of the interesting aspect that you wear what you get, right? So I got the unique armor, good for me, and that's going to enable like an armor build, an armor based build that's going to carry me through so much of the early game, because then I can kind of forget about the energy shield and only worry about the other thing. That's very, very, very good. Very, very good. Because it kind of takes away some of the problems or worry. I'm just looking for... Oh, the strength requirement is still there. Okay. I want to kind of get out of the strength requirement issue. So if I do no respec and the plan is to go energy shield, I need to make that kind of gear decision very early. That I need, because if I spend points on energy shield based abilities, it kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that I also need to get energy shield items, because otherwise the points are going to be worthless. So that's going to be very, very hard as a league starter, because you have to really be like, oh my god, I need energy shield items, and they have to be very good. I don't like that too much, but it's at the same time, one of the other things I don't like is I don't like taking away the you wear what you get aspect of the game. I find that to be a very strong aspect of this game, actually, in the early game, that you kind of like, it's a patchwork. You put together like all kinds of weird stuff to make your character work. You just equip an armor, you equip this and that whole aspect of not having to be like a completely clean caster, heavy armor, whatever. Maybe you're wearing some energy shield stuff in the early game as a fighter warrior because it's just the best stuff that you were able to get. I love that. Making those decisions, I mean, is what makes the game great, I find. The more decision the player makes, the better, period. Revives minions. Oh, that's always great. I think it's only the minions though, so I could probably... it died. Okay, I need to make sure that I didn't miss anything, even if this means a lot of running backwards and forwards at this point. Oh, there's a checkpoint. I could have used that. Yeah. Well, level 30. So a couple of close calls. Another close call though, right just a few moments before with the Abyssal. That's something that could easily kill me. Like had I gone focusing on energy shield, is what I want to say. That would have easily killed me. Like I would probably still get the energy shield, but nonetheless, gotten the HP. But nonetheless, against the Abyssal mechanic, energy shield is very weak. I mean, you need twice as much energy shield as you would health or something, because of the double damage from chaos damage. It's very, 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 very weak against the seasonal. It's not intentional that I'm leaving out those rooms for last. Oh, there it is. There it is. The final letter. 2 skill points. This looks like the staircase. It is. And then we're going to go and fight the boss. I've had a situation where this boss almost killed me. I don't recall what the skills was. It was something like, was it mana drain? I think one of them was mana drain. It was crazy. Although I can't drag them out of the arena, that's okay. Is that it? I think that's the last bit. Oh! Extra crits. Okay, that was close. That was close. Is that it? Did I clear out everything? Yeah, I did. Yeah, the Path of Mourning. Alright. On to my skill points. And this boss fight is not worrisome either. So, and I have fire resistance, so I'm not worried about that one. Wow, look at that, 107% physical damage. Crazy. And leech. So good. Yeah, almost feels bad selling it. It has to go though. If it had physical damage added on it, that would be like, I don't know how much it's. Wow. Crazy value. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. Goodbye. Goodbye. And then we head into the recoup here. More recoup, more recoup. Okay, I need to go and quickly check if she has anything of value. It's incredible how early game getting those. Oh, 450. Here are the new flasks. 600 something. That's the upgrade already. There we go. That's enough. I'm not going to change that. Right. Okay, so I think, do I want to do any gambles? What would I gamble for? Probably no. I want to maybe, if anything, want to gamble for 33 items in the next act, but not yet. Let's finish this place. I'm picking up belts because maybe I want to slam a few later on. Even though I have a couple of very good belts now currently that I'm switching between. One thing about this type of challenge, I mean, at least the one that I'm running right now, is that the whole backwards and forwards, I mean, sometimes you need to go, let's say there are skill levels, and you need to find those, right? You cannot bypass free skill levels. But the whole running backwards and forwards, for instance, clearing out monsters, oh, there's a pack there, there's a pack here, pack there. That bit, simply because, I mean, you know, if not the XP, you need the loot, like, oh, HCSSF, who knows what's on those, right? I mean, there can be like resistances and health and all kinds of things. It's going to be completely, necessary for me. So that kind of thing, like for instance, this zone is a great example. I imagine that I need to go back and double check because Topaz ring. Well, who knows what's on the Topaz ring? And it's just there we go again and again, right? Look at this, an Ashen Staff, and who knows, and Eel Orbs, and it's just, it is what it is. You need to go and you need to loot the things. You cannot bypass a lot of things if you are, starved for upgrades, starved for those that kind of situation. It's just too damn expensive to leave things out. Too damn expensive. Too damn expensive. And like I'm leaving out so much stuff because I have no idea what I'm going, so I need to just explore. I mean, this is the kind of zone where you kind of wish that you could just reset at checkpoint and effectively teleport yourself around to just clear the stuff quicker. Probably like in a speedrun sense, that's what you want to do. Not being able to reset is, I think, a major weakness. Did I explore everything else? That feels like... I'm getting that feeling that this is probably just a dead end. What the hell? Oh, it's a permanent... Great. This is a dead end with a permanent tornado there. I mean, I'm not saying that this is not a challenge. It definitely is a challenge. For sure. For sure this is a challenge. I mean, not being able to reset stuff, having to deal with like zero build up. You have zero. It's a league starter with like it's a league starter in solo self farm with a bit of extra added extra added restrictions. That would have been great, like on a melee, something else dealing a martial character. That would have definitely been something that I would have been wanting to stash for sure. Like, so I really need to look at the bases and not ignore the bases. That's a really big problem of mine. So like the bases can actually be a lot better than actual rares. Because actual rares is just like, random bases with random orbs thrown in them. So the odds of getting something good are very, very low. Did I explore everything? That's a pretty good go. Forget if there's a way. I think there's a waypoint here as well. Great. Alright, so I need to go back. We're very close at this point, but also to the time where I need to actually leave. 5 stats. Yeah, it's a lot worse. It's a level 26 staff. And look at what happens to my damage. Look. So even after the readjustment, it's like it's half damage. This is how difficult it is to actually upgrade. All fire skills is worthless. Goodbye. It's very, very difficult. There we mother effing go. That was kind of a, this is an item that's actually, this is a cornerstone item. It doesn't even have its 6th attribute. So it has 30 lightning resistance for starters. It has a bit of other things on it. It has evasion, which I don't need. A bit of mana regeneration, which is nice. But the elemental resist all is going to be super killer. So I need to figure out where to actually add this item, because this is an item that I need. Let's see, physical 30. Yeah, the 6 res all is just amazing. Goodbye. Lightning and cold resistance and life. Let's see if I can't find room for this. It adds lightning and cold. It's a major upgrade. Major upgrade. Major upgrade. Okay. So socket for that. And extra lightning resistance in there if possible. Not possible. Extra fire. Whatever, extra fire. No, wait, not extra fire, because I'm going to add that for that situation. Lightning or nothing. I'm going to keep that. Yeah. Salvaging. For sure. We're going to keep these, I think. Oh, that's the lighting charm. Thank you very much. Okay, heading in. So let's see, Spires of Deshar, and then the final one is the boss, the final boss. So that's probably the point where I'm going to take the break. Prepare before taking it, if I survive this, of course. Prepare for the zone and whatever, and then log off and do the Juggernaut, or the Dreadnought, sorry, next time. Question is, do I want to pick up the Keth Raiment? I'm thinking, oh, the Emerald Ring, yeah, okay, we do want the rings, but these items, I think they might just potentially just, you know, really rock my socks. If I can get extra energy shield and a lot of it on there, I think that could potentially be good enough. I mean, even I do need one good roll. So what is a good roll? A good roll is high life. Right, this is the bottom tier life. So high life, at least high life, at least, or another one of the three, like either high life, high energy shield added, or high percentage energy shield added. One of those three needs to be there. Preferably straight up added energy shield and all life. But added energy shield is, I think, that would be the most crucial. Recoup and physical life added. Let's see the physical damage. It does add a bit. I'm not sure how good the physical stuff is not absolutely convinced that it contends with the what the hell is going on? Is this like immune to? I'm not sure if the damage on this on this spell is based on the charge up or if it's simply based off of how many of the spikes or projectiles that actually hit. Because if it's a question of projectiles hitting, then you don't need a big charge up on the bosses. You can basically do like a charge up of a full second or something. Yeah, it needs to be like timed like this or something. Maybe even less than that actually on the small hitbox mobs. But I'm really, I feel like I'm so like unsure about what the ideal. I know if I have a big hitbox boss, it just disappeared. It just evaporates. I think I want to trigger the problem is that there is an area buff that adds lightning resistance, and when you get that buff, you also trigger all of these sentinels, all of these statues in the zone are going to be triggered, and so that means a lot of extra XP actually going back and farming, and I don't know if I want to do that. I kind of think I do. Depends a little bit on, you know, where am I in terms of XP. I'm level 31 currently. This is a level 30 zone, so this still has value. Getting to level 33, if that's impossible, then it's maybe a waste of time. I don't know. But I still think I want to do it though. Even if it's boring, I want to do it this time. Just for the feeling of safety. And I think I need to make a really big effort of getting to item level 33 very soon, very quickly, and very aggressively. So getting to the next act. If I get there, I don't want to jinx my run here, but getting to level 33 in terms of item level, I think is going to be pretty important. Here we go. And I'm just going to release this. We'll see how much I'm actually going to clear. And how much is the XP? It's pretty significant. God damn it. Okay, so that was a dead end. That's a long detour. Okay, I'm just going to go and see. Yeah, okay. Finding out which I have done and which I haven't done is going to be too much of a nightmare. So probably I'm just going to kill whatever's in my way here and then leave the rest out. I mean, getting to level 30, I think getting to level 33 is probably going to be very doable. That's kind of what I need to calculate with. Can I get to level 34 if I kill all of these? I find that to be slightly unrealistic and pretty much unnecessary. I don't need that extra level. But I do want to get to level 33 for sure. And they do drop loot, god damn it. They do drop loot. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Fighting the boss. It's fire resistance, so oh well, we don't need extra fire resistance. It's going to be fine. We're fine. And this is a big hitbox, so this is one of the bosses where Don't quite understand this boss. Someplace in the boss design something went wrong. It doesn't feel scary in the least bit. So it's very odd, that boss. It's I want to understand what's going on with the boss and wherein the difficulty of this boss fight lies. I really want to understand why this is actually a difficult boss. I want somebody to explain to me what this boss is about, what the whole point is. See, this is the type of stuff I want, but like I need a higher. This is a fine stat actually, but not good enough. It's not good enough to kind of try to make something out of this. It's just not good enough. If I was really desperate, yeah, sure. But it needs more. It needs more. I'm just going to check something real quick. A lot of XP for this. It's probably like 4 bars or something. I'm actually not even. I'm not very worried about my lightning resistance either. Like 53 lightning X resistance is going to be more than enough to deal with the boss. I don't know that it's 4 bars, but it's at least a couple of bars. More or less free XP just from running backwards and forwards. I don't need that. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Let's get out of here. Instead, that was. I wish you just pull that earlier. Pull that goddamn buff earlier. Get those minions out. All right, I'm going to finish up before heading into the. I'm going to go and grab the waypoint. Grabbing the waypoint, just so that I'm not confused about what it is that I'm doing next time. And finishing up in town real quick. Cold resistance 11, so that's 16, that's 18, so that's a potential. Okay, so here's the baseline. It's a hexa rope, so it's not that good. It's not even chaos resistance. 61 has the spirit. Yeah. It's rough. It's real rough. Okay, let's grab these and check. Right, so this is... Oh wait, it doesn't have enough intelligence. Same problem. Oh, we can add the intelligence here just for the measuring. Okay, so here's the damage on the demon pole, and now I put this on, and it's a damage decrease of a lot, and then we add this one, still a big damage decrease, and then we add finally this one. So this is the measuring. It's 200 damage apart. Maybe this could be slammed into something. Don't know. Going to sell these off. And we'll see.
Nu.
Nice.
Du har slet ikke vækket af, at jeg rundt op i plejespejlet.
Jeg hørte ikke noget. Hvornår var det?
Det ved
Okay. Alright. So I think I am actually going to go and allow myself to go and do a bit of a bit of tuning on this. I'm going to try to use the Well of Souls on this item here before heading into the final fight. And even if this makes zero sense, let's see. Alright, there's 0 spell levels on, so it's worthless. You need some goddamn luck before going into crafting one of these without a very, very proper base. Oh no, not happening, not happening. Spell damage, mana regeneration. This is probably one of the best. One, 2, 3 points. Oh well. Oh well. So what do I need for the final fight? Lightning resistance. That's goddamn, that's pretty rough. Oh wait, I don't need to change anything here. Bleeding, cold. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Heading into the zone, and thank you for watching.